What's up, you guys? My name is Miguel, here to give you your daily dose of radiation. In today's video, we are covering some of the top complaints you find yourself in amongst the shifts, both days and nights, the infamous back and forth. So, the complaints of daytime versus nighttime, they're kind of similar and kind of different. There's always gonna be a little issue between both teams. It always, and majority of the times, like I work night shift, it always comes down to certain techs that just do the same thing over and over and over, and eventually it just kind of becomes a trend, and it kind of becomes a thing that causes little rivalries and little issues amongst departments. And I myself just notice it during, like, I work 7 on, 7 off. So within my 7 days on, I get to be working with both teams of the daytime, because there's like 2 kind of rotations. So I get to dabble with both. And like, it's just day and night, the difference between both and how they operate, and how you like see the stuff. Like, for instance, on certain shifts, like, I know when I walk in, there's gonna be so many orders that are left over. There's gonna be orders from like super late, maybe never got checked on. Like, there's gonna be, like, I'm gonna come in and I know that I'm gonna have to pick up some slack, and I have to pick up and do work, like from like 5 p.m. when I go in there at 8. Like, there's stuff like that. Obviously, we all understand. Sometimes the nurse is in there. Sometimes you get busy. There's understandable situation. But like, it always happens. And one of the veteran techs who's been in nighttime longer than I have, who's been doing it for like almost, I think, like 7-8 years, brought up to my attention certain complaints she has. And I'm like, like, majority of the times, who works on the opposite swing of her, I'm like, some of those, I've never dealt with some of the complaints she does, and I've noticed that she brought up to the attention what tech it was, and I'm like, I never had to deal with those situations. And then sometimes I'm like, some techs are petty, and like, Lord forgive that the nighttime messes up one time, or the nighttime leaves anything, because there's like less staffing during night. So obviously, if we get slammed hard, like day shift handles, like, we'll do our best, but at a certain point you can only do so much. And especially with add-ons going to the floor, there's only so much that can happen. But like, you can tell easily, and I've seen it, because I work ungodly amount of overtime. So sometimes there's like months where I'll just continuously work nights, and then I'll flip into days. And sometimes they'll say stuff that is almost like a day shift. Like, they say it and they'll forget that I'm there, and then I'm like, so y'all just be doing this on purpose because it's certain techs coming in. Like, they'll leave stuff. They're like, oh, so-and-so's coming in. It's like, we'll just leave it for them. And then I'll just be there like, what? And then they'll like forget that I'm there. Or like, sometimes they'll say something that will be reference to us and kind of make us as nighttime seem like lazy and stuff like that. And I'll just be like, what do you mean? And then they'll forget. They're like, oh, not you, Miguel. The other techs that work at night. And then, so it's just like stuff that happens over time, which, I mean, any shift, anywhere you work, you'll deal with so many problems and so many issues. I mean, the way I see, as long as you go into work and you just take care of business and you try not to leave any orders. Like, I work in the emergency room. So like, we understand there's certain stuff, but like, you walk in sometimes, maybe you have other stuff going on outside of work, and then you go to work, and then you let the outside stuff of work come into play into the inside of work, and it causes drama. Maybe it causes I've seen it so much happen. I'm fortunate enough that I am very antisocial, and I literally just show up at work, regardless of what's happening with the little ones, with the lady, whatever outside of work. I don't let that affect my work, and I'm very just like locked in and focused. Which the manager has told me multiple times, like, Miguel, I wish people would just show up to work, do what they have to do, and just go home. It's like just like you, and I'm like, that's what we get paid to do. It's like so many times I get emails, I get messages of just these petty conversations, petty like complaints, petty like there's so much other drama and other stuff that just makes like affects the workflow or just the work environment, and slowly it becomes toxic. I mean, certain places are worse than others, and I've noticed it more when it's like there's like I'll go to work and sometimes it'll be a group of ladies, and I'll just show up and I'll just sit there and just observe. Majority of the time, I don't really talk. I'm very antisocial, and I just sit there and observe and just hear them conversate, and just hear them how they talk about other techs, or how they talk about the workflow and all those things, and I'm just like, this is why when I come in, this is what happens. Or yeah, I've noticed it so many times, and just like over time, you'll just pick up stuff, and I mean, you try to always give people the benefit of the doubt, but like sometimes you'll catch them doing it red-handed, and then you're just like, yeah. I mean, majority of the times I don't confront people. I just like, if there's stuff left over, I'm like, I'll just do it. Fuck it. Like, it has to get done regardless. Like, the patient, why would the patient have to deal with, at the end of the day, like, the patient's the one who gets affected by the pettiness, by whatever's happening with the other crew, or between, like, the patient at the end of the day is the one who pays the price. So I'm like, I'll think about it, and I'll be like, yeah, this is petty of day shift to do, or yeah, this is suck, why would they do this? But like, at the end of the day, this patient needs their chest x-ray or whatever they need done. It's just, I don't know. I always strive to just go in there, do whatever got to be done. And I mean, if there's stuff left over, like there's certain days that I know I just have to go in, just be laser focused, regardless of what's on that board that shows up. Just get it done. Obviously, certain people, stuff will happen. You got to be understanding. There's other times where, regardless of how much you do, like, there's been so many nights that, like, I'll clear the board and there'll be nothing. For months, like, just months of 7 on, 7 on, just nothing when they come in. And then occasionally, you leave one. Occasionally, this and that. And the little itty inconvenience, it just, like, crushes all the other good days, all the other good, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I could see how it could turn completely south and it become the rivalry of stuff. Like, even stalking, sometimes I'm like, it amazes me how people don't want to restock stuff, and they'll play the I'm gonna wait for someone else to do it game. And the funniest thing will always happen, because there's certain stuff that only day shift uses. So occasionally it'll be like certain techs, they're like, oh, today's my Friday, I don't have to come back for like the next 4 days. Whatever's going on, they'll be like, whatever, I'll just leave it for the other day crew. And the other day crew comes in, and they're like, why is this is not this? Why did this not get done? Or why did this? And I'm like, oh no, your day shift left that for you. And then they're just like, like, you can just see the pettiness. Like, we shoot everything like portable during nights on my shift, so like we never use the room at all, or we never use the company phone. And like, the phone doesn't get charged. There's like so many things that only the other day shift will do. And we'll look at it and we'll see it, and we're like, we will leave it right here and play the example game. And then the other crew will come in, and then we'll tell them what happened. And then they'll get mad. And then it just, I don't know. Sometimes it can get toxic. It can get pretty bad. And it's more of the people who've been there longer. Usually, the more younger techs, you just, you don't have time for that. You got too much other stuff going on. You just go in there, work, and leave. But it can get bad. I'm just saying, it can be. Even in the professional world that we live in here, as in the hospital, it happens. And it's even worse is the nursing department, because my lady's a nurse, and she tells me many times of what they endure over there, and I'm like, I couldn't deal with that. But yeah, it's been your boy Miguel. I'm here to educate you in all different aspects of this beautiful field of radiology. See ya on the next one.